Hello there and welcome to this series of videos. We're going to be covering some searching and sorting using Python. I'm assuming that you already know how to perform these searches. You can see these in the CS field guide. The searching, the linear search, is the important one that we're going to write an algorithm for, and the sorting algorithms for the selection sort, and the we'll do bubble sort actually, because we've covered that in class. And we might even look at comparing that to the quicksort, which I'll supply some code for. And one of the key problems is that we're going to want to write these as functions. So I'm going to do a real quick video tutorial on just functions, the simplest possible explanation of functions. And then we'll hopefully be able to understand them a little more so we can write our own for those utility functions that we're going to need to test these algorithms and for the algorithms themselves. So just follow along. I've got a brand new empty replit I'm going to do my code in. You can follow along with this. I'm going to create, I'm going to do a program that adds two numbers, if I can spell. So this program, we're going to turn into a function, but the bottom line is we want to be able to create these two numbers. So I'm just going to say a equals 3 and b equals 4, and then I'm going to print a plus b. So this program is pretty simple. When I run it, you'll see that we get this the answer to whatever these two values are. We get that answer out here. Now, if this is a really arbitrary example, it's pretty rubbish to be honest, but it allows us to show you how functions work in a simple way. So this part here, I'm going to replace this part here with a function, just so you can see how it works. You'd never really use something as dumb as this and turn it into a function, but for now let's just use this as our example. So to create the function, you use the def. The functions always go before the main part of the code. The program Python won't run this function. It'll remember that it exists, and then it'll sort of put it in memory, and then it'll move on to the main part of code where it starts doing things. If you would then need to call this function in your main part of code, and it'll jump back and run it. We're going to call this this amazing function add, and we're going to take in two parameters, and I'm deliberately going to call them x and y so that you can see the difference. All we want to do is we want to actually return x plus y, and that's it. That's the simplest example of a function. So how do we use it? Well, we're just going to we return the value, so we still need to print the value. So to make things nice and clear, what I'll maybe say is answer equals, and then I'm going to add a and b. Those of you that are maybe not familiar with functions, you might say, why are you using a and b and not x and y? Well, it doesn't matter what you put in here. You could actually put just a couple of numbers in here, and when you run it, you'll get the answer to 4 plus 6 inside of answer. And obviously, if you want to see it on the console, you're going to have to print whatever the answer was. So let's run that again. So you see, it doesn't matter what you put in, whatever you put in. So in this occasion, the number 4 gets put into x and becomes available to the function as x. X is not available outside of that function. It's only available inside of that function. And equally, if you want the values a and b to be used by the function, you can't just say add a plus b, because those actually don't exist inside this function. This function knows nothing about this main code. That's why we have parameters. So if I say that we're going to add a and b, and I return my function to the correct method, so return x plus y, then the value, whatever the value a holds, gets sent to the add function and becomes x. Whatever value b holds gets sent to the function and is stored in y, and then we return x plus y. When you return values from functions, it's always a good idea. It's the only way, in fact. You need this assignment operator, the equal sign. So when you return a value from this add function, it will get put into the variable answer, and then I'm going to print out answer here. So you would expect what to happen here? Well, 4 plus 3, and you get the correct answer here. And you can test this as much as you like. You can pass in any numbers that you want to this function, and we don't need to change the code at all. You can pass in different variables, like c equals this and d equals that, and you can pass in the different variables, and you notice that we've got this ability to be really flexible. We can pass in anything we want to this function, and it will just do the job that it's supposed to do. So one last thing just before I go, it's always a good idea to add in some comments for what your function does. Add two numbers together and return result. One really cool thing that you can do is, terrible spelling, doesn't matter. One really cool thing that you can do is if you put inside of triple quotes the instructions of what this function does, then you actually have written yourself some code completion. So when you hover over add, your brand new custom function, you actually get the information about what that function does. So anyone using your code, or if you forget, you'll be able to use that as a way of helping you to get the correct answer. And the same way as if you start typing it in, you'll see that you get the help just like you would normally. You'll see what parameters it takes, and you'll get the help like you would for other Python functions, just because you've added this comment in at the correct place in the correct way for your function. So that's very useful for going forward with more complex functions that you write.